The KRF Center for Bangladesh and Global Affairs (CBGA) is a non-profit, non-government and knowledge-driven initiative with its key focus on research, publications, seminars, training, survey, advocacy and related activities on Bangladesh and global affairs. The center engages in a study, generates evidence and promotes research on multidisciplinary and multidimensional issues influencing Bangladesh in its policy and knowledge domains, particularly in the areas of security, diplomacy, foreign policy, and international relations. The center has launched its podcast program, CBGA Voices, for wider access to people who have interest in the issues of foreign policy and international relations. Today, we are presenting our 12th episode on why is negligence for the Rohingya repatriation.
During a demonstration across the sprawling camp, Rohingya community leader Mohammad Joshim waved placards and chanted slogans. Let's go back to Myanmar. Don't try to stop repatriation. Around the town of Cox's Bazar in southeast Bangladesh, overcrowded camps are now housing up to 1.2 million Rohingya residents. Rohingyas left Myanmar's Rakhine state in August 2017 when the country's military forces conducted a brutal clearance operation that has been known as the case of genocide to everybody in this world. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina opened the borders of Bangladesh to save the lives of Rohingyas in 2017, despite its serious ramifications for the economy, environment, security and socio-political stability of Bangladesh. Demonstrating a humanitarian posture, Bangladesh has to spend Taka 30,000 crores per year to maintain law and order and fill the gaps in international assistance. To accommodate a large population in a better way with developed facilities, the government relocated them to Bhasanchar Island with international standard facilities for education, health, food, safety and livelihoods.
The Rohingya crisis has been going on for over 6 years, during which time Bangladesh puts itself in a precarious position of being burdened with the responsibility of looking after million-plus refugees, and it has already gone above and above. Bangladesh is already among the world's top 10 most densely populated countries. Besides, the security situation in these camps is quickly deteriorating, with wider consequences for regional stability, due to the million or more Rohingya refugees living in a condensed and extremely important area along the Bay of Bengal. Numerous illicit activities are mushrooming near the camps.
Meanwhile, foreign funding already seems to be going down as only 38% of the $920 million budget for the Rohingyas this year has been committed due to the Ukraine war and the ongoing global financial crisis. The funding for Rohingya refugees has gone down significantly in 2023 compared to the 2 previous years. A lack of funds has led to a reduction in life-saving supplies for refugees, including food. The World Food Programme reduced the food allotment 17%. Due to a lack of resources, the World Food Programme has forced to lower the amount of its general food assistance coupons from $12 to $10 per person per month in March of this year.
Recently, there is a major breakthrough in terms of ensuring the safe and sustainable repatriation of the Rohingyas to Myanmar. A pilot repatriation initiative involving Bangladesh and Myanmar's military administration is now being carried out. It is being facilitated by China and calls for the return of 1,140 Rohingya refugees to Myanmar. In order to start the repatriation process before the monsoon season, China held trilateral negotiations with representatives of the governments of Bangladesh and Myanmar in Kunming in April. The action, which would see 300 Rohingyas sent home each day, was branded a trial repatriation plan.
The Rohingyas are desperately looking for getting repatriated quickly so they may rejoin their families and take back their lives. The decline in funds and numerous illicit activities in camps are creating a need for repatriation for the sake of Rohingyas and Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, China and Myanmar are now working harder than previously to repatriate Rohingyas as part of this pilot initiative, which can be considered a positive development for repatriation. However, the UN agencies along with a few human rights organizations oppose the initiative of repatriation that would certainly jeopardize the prospects of Rohingya repatriation in the future. For the Rohingyas, the process of repatriation must be kicked off, which will open up new opportunities. Most recently, Tom Andrew, the UN Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights and Myanmar, undiplomatically and incongruously as an official of an intergovernmental body, opined that Bangladesh must immediately suspend a pilot repatriation project for Rohingya refugees to return to Myanmar, where they face serious risk to their lives, freedom, right. This statement to a government of a sovereign nation is thoroughly unexpected.
Some donor organizations and United Nations experts called for a halt to any Rohingya repatriation until conditions are in place for safe and sustainable returns, whereas Bangladesh has repeatedly underlined its commitment to sustainable and voluntary return, since the beginning of the crisis. While they are opposing the process of repatriation, they have been failing to resolve the crisis through third-party repatriation or creating pressure on the junta or even reducing the fund to support the Rohingyas in the camps. On June 5, the UNHCR was accused of not providing food assistance to 23 Rohingya individuals living in 4 households in Cox's Bazar. State Minister for Foreign Affairs MD Shahriar Alam does not see any reason to oppose the pilot repatriation project for Rohingya refugees. This is a trial project, and through this, the Rohingyas will be sent to the Rakhine state to observe the situation on a very small scale.
Undoubtedly, the measures taken by the international community for the Rohingyas are not adequate to ensure their repatriation. Now they are opposing the trilateral initiative taken by Bangladesh, Myanmar and China without considering the long-term consequences of prolonged presence of the Rohingyas in the camps. The Rohingya crisis is as much the international community's problem as Bangladesh's. After a long time, hope was rekindled for repatriation. The international community must not sabotage this initiative.